Hello everyone! Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Welcome back dito sa ating channel. Kasama nyo ang one and only Mama Mia ninyo na maghahatid ng part 2 ng storya niya na From Yesterday. Oo, alam kong nabitin kayo sa kwento yesterday kaya eto na ang part 2. Pero bago ang lahat, nais ko munang hikayatin ang ating mga hindi pa po subscriber na laging bumabalik-balik dito sa ating channel. Oo, nakita ko sa analytics. Yes, nakita kita. Nakita kita sa analytics na hindi ka pa subscriber pero pabalik-balik ka, returning viewer ka. So, please do subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell para lagi kayong na-update sa tuwing meron tayong bagong video na inalalabas or bagong kwento na inilalabas. Ang gagawin nyo, may subscribe dyan. Oh, nakita nyo ba? Nabasa nyo ba? Click nyo yan. Tapos may parang bell na alarm clock na munting-munti. Ayan, click nyo rin yan para na-update kayo palagi. Anyways, anyhow, maraming salamat pa rin talaga. Kahit na hindi kayo nakapag-subscribe, ibig sabihin lang talaga niyan, binabalik-balikan nyo ang channel natin. Thank you so much. Hi din ako sa ating mga commentators na lagi naman talagang nagko-comment sa atin. Hi kay Christina Season, Rosana Crisostomo, maraming salamat. Leticia Amante, thank you very much. Virginita Vallejos, maraming salamat. Shout out daw sa mga nagtitinda sa harap ng Perlas ng Silang. Hi kay Michelle Rose Picazo, maraming salamat from Barangay Townsite at Cabcaben High School. Hi din kay Ma'am Michelle Rose Picazo, balik-balik. Paulit-ulit na ha, Mama Mia. Jeanette Mariano, maraming salamat. Camille Castillo, Liza Nana Diego, maraming salamat sa iyo. Lina Ladeza, Amador Cotillas, maraming salamat. Sardara Undi, Maricel Kayabyab, Aksa Heliana. Hello Aksa Heliana, welcome back dito sa pagko-comment sa ating channel. Nako, wag na nating patagalin na ito ng ang second part sa kwento niya na dito lamang sa Dear Mama Mia. The day Dylan was born, my world shifted on its axis. From the moment I held him in my arms, I knew my life had changed forever. Noon, I thought motherhood would be lonely. Na ako lang ang mag-isang aalaga sa anak ko. Na ako lang ang hahawak ng lahat ng responsibilidad. Pero hindi ko namamalayan na ang pamilya ko, na dati like I always felt I had to prove myself to, was slowly drawing closer because of him. When it was time for his christening, I was overwhelmed by the love and support that surrounded us. My entire family flew to Manila, mama and papa, pati na rin ang mga kapatid ko, even my kuya. Finally, na-meet na rin niya ang kanyang pamangkin. My parents, who had been so strict and focused on achievements, especially mama, were now doting grandparents, buzzing over Dylan as if he was the center of their universe. And then there were my friends, Jay, Chi, Cha, and Elsie, who had been my rock since day one. When I asked them to be Dylan's godparents, they didn't even hesitate. I also invited Elsie kasi best friend namin siya at best friend ko siya. And I told her about what happened except hindi ko sinabi sa kanya yung part kung saan at kailan ko na-meet ang papa ni Dylan, na dun pala sa kanyang mismong kasal. She never pried about Dylan's father and for that I was very grateful. She respected my decision. Unlike others who couldn't seem to accept that some stories were meant to be kept private. Nandun din yung dalawa kong mga friends and classmates sa grad school who became my family. Minahal nila ako and most especially si Dylan ng totoo. Every milestone of Dylan's life became a family affair. When he turned 1, our small apartment was filled with laughter and love. No grand party or anything. I just want a simple one with family and friends. My parents, who once found it hard to show affection, were now the loudest, cheering as Dylan smashed his birthday cake with his tiny little hands. Even as he grew, Dylan never felt the absence of a father. He had my papa, who became his ultimate role model. Every time Dylan called him papa, my heart swelled. I had been so afraid that for my son would feel incomplete, but he never did. He was surrounded by so much love, and I made sure he always knew that. When I finally finished my PhD, I didn't think anyone would make a big deal out of it. After all, I had been achieving things in my entire life, and it never seemed to be enough. But this time it was different. This time, I walked across the stage, not just as a scholar, not just as someone who had always been expected to excel, but as a mother. My entire family was there, beaming with pride. Dylan, dressed in a tiny barong, clapped his little hands when my name was called. And when I finally reached my parents, it was Mama who pulled me into an embrace first. I'm so proud of you, Yance. Words I had longed to hear for years. I used to believe that success was measured in accolades and approval. But Dylan changed all that. Success was in the way my son looked at me with so much trust, in the way my family gathered together despite past hurts, in the way my friends stayed by my side supporting me through everything. Dylan was my greatest gift, my greatest lesson, and the reason why, for the first time in my life, I felt whole. I am finally back at the university, not as a student but as a professor again. This time with a PhD to my name. And as I look at my class, I realize I am no longer the same Yana they used to know. I am more than just the girl who aimed for academic excellence. I am a mother, a survivor, a woman who rebuilt her life from scratch. I knew this is just the beginning. And then one day, a university in Singapore invited me to present my research. I'm happy but sad na maiiwan ko ang anak ko. First time kong mahiwalay sa kanya, tapos sa abroad pa talaga. So naisip ko, what if isasama ko na lang kaya ang anak ko sa Singapore para at least makagala naman ito. Eto talaga kapag mama na tayo, iba na talagang naiisip natin. Gusto nating ipa-experience sa ating anak yung mga bagay na ating nai-experience. Dylan adored dinosaurs and airplanes. He had been obsessed with Jurassic World since, memorizing dinosaur names better than I could ever. And flying, gustong-gusto niya talaga yon. So this would be the perfect chance to give him an adventure while I did my work. If hindi sasama ang kapatid ko, yung yaya na lang ang isasama ko. Nung sinabihan ko ang family ko about sa plano ko, alam mo ba, Mama Mia, na gusto nilang lahat sumama. Imbis na conference ang pinunta ko doon ay parang naging family affair pa. Nagulat ako sa mama ko kasi halos hindi talaga siya uma-absent or nagli-leave man lang ng walang valid reason. Pero noon, walang pag-aalinlangan, nag-leave agad siya pati na rin ang ate ko. Ang papa ko hindi din masyadong gusto ang pagbabiyahe-biyahe lalo na kapag malayo. Pero siya pa ang gumastos ng lahat ng ticket kasi ako, free naman ako kasi nga in-invite ako ng Singapore University. And always talagang present ang sa lakad namin noon itong kuya ko na laging hindi nakakauwi sa bahay namin. So ang biyahe namin ay napakahaba naman talaga. First time ko flying to Singapore with my whole family. And I must say, they are not one of the best airlines for nothing. Pag check-in pa lang namin ay alam na nila na meron kaming 4 years old at 1 senior citizen. Bali nilipat nila kami ng seat sa harap para hindi na mahirapan kasi nga may kasama kaming mga seniors at saka may kasama rin kaming bata. Ang nakaganda pa na bumiyahe ako with my family ay parang ang gaan-gaan ng buhay kasi sila lahat ang parang naging yaya ng anak ko. Mommy, can I go to the pilot's room? Tanong ni Dylan. No love, only pilots are allowed inside the cockpit. Lumapit ang isang flight attendant sa amin and greeted Dylan and us. He even gave Dylan a toy plane na maliit. Tapos yung mama ko, medyo umandar ang pagkabida-bida. Is the child allowed to have a photo op at the cockpit when we land? It's really his dream to have a photo of the cockpit eh. Well, ask the captain, ma'am ha, kapag nakaland na tayo. Sometimes they allow it, sabi ng flight attendant. I didn't expect anything, but when we landed and all the passengers had deplaned, the flight attendant came back beaming. The captain said yes. Dylan let out a high-pitched squeal of excitement, tugging at my hand as we followed the flight attendant toward the cockpit. Masayang-masaya ako dahil nakikita kong natutupad ang pangarap ng anak ko. Inside, the first officer greeted us warmly. Hi buddy, what's your name? My name is Dylan. Do you want to sit in the pilot seat? Is it okay? Of course, come here. What plane is this? Is this an Airbus or Boeing? This is a Boeing 737-8 MAX. I watched as Dylan clambered onto the seat, his hands hovering over the controls like he had just been granted access to a spaceship. He was in awe, taking in every detail, every switch, every button. The captain is just finishing up some paperwork, but he'll be right. Then he turned. My breath caught in my throat, Mamma Mia. Phil. Phil is the captain, sitting at the side of the cockpit, a tablet in his hands. His eyes flickered to me, then to Dylan, then back to me. I froze. Phil's lips parted slightly, like he wanted to say something. But instead, he smiled. Not just any smile, but one of those warm, effortless, heart-stopping smiles he had always been so good at giving. The kind that once made my knees weak. Hi there, buddy. Do you like airplanes? Tanong ni Phil kay Dylan. Yes, I wanted to be a pilot someday. That's awesome. You know, I started just like you, looking at planes, dreaming about flying them. Do you want to sit in the captain's seat? Dylan gasped and looked at me for permission. I could only nod, still in shock. Kahit nanginginig ang kamay ko, ay pinicturan ko sila. Tapos, inutusan din niya yung FA na picturan sila. He even let Dylan wear his cap. Dylan gripped the controls with both hands, his face lit up with pure joy. Phil stood beside him, adjusting Dylan's tiny hands on the yoke like a mentor guiding his student. I swallowed hard, my emotions tangled in a mess of nostalgia, anxiety, and something dangerously close to longing. Phil turned to me then, his gaze searching mine. Good to see you, Yana. I opened my mouth but nothing came out, only a faint smile. Good to see me? After all this time? Dylan, oblivious to the weight of the moment, turned to Phil and asked, Captain, will I really be a pilot someday? Phil smiled at him, his gaze filled with warmth that made my chest ache. If you want it enough, buddy, absolutely. Baby, we have to go. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Sabi ko sa kanya. Thank you, everyone. The moment we got out of the cockpit, grabe talaga ang kabog ng dibdib ko. Anak, okay ka lang? Bakit parang namumutla ka? Tanong ni Papa. Okay lang ako, Pa. Baby, how was your experience? Tanong ni Mama kay Dylan. I drive an airplane, Mamaya. I'm a pilot now. Well, when you're old enough, you'll be one. Kaya ayon, uneasy talaga ako the whole time. The person I'm hoping not to see, yung universe talaga ang humanap ng paraan para magkita kami. Eto na ba yung sinasabi nilang wala talagang naitatagong sikreto. Ngayon habang tinitignan ko ang pictures nila together, dun ko na-realize that Dylan is the spitting image sa kanyang ama. The way they smile, even their eyes are the same. At tanga lang talaga ang taong hindi makikita ang kanilang similarities. Etong kapatid ko ay isa sa mga pinaka-observant na tao sa buong mundo. Itago natin siya sa pangalang Isa. Ate, patingin nga ng mga pictures ni Dylan sa cockpit. Ako naman ay halos hindi ko ibigay yung phone ko sa kanya dahil alam ko na ang mga mata ng kapatid kong ito ay daig pa ang laser. Wow, baby, you look like a real pilot, sabi ni Isa. Nag-scroll pa siya. Ate, look oh, parang magkamukha si Dylan at itong isang pilot, ano? Pagtingin ko ay zoom in na pala niya yung picture ni Dylan at Phil. Ewan ko, akin na nga yung phone ko kasi may message ako. Tinignan ako ng kapatid ko na para bang may meaning ang mga tingin na yon. The next day, I attended my conference alone. Gusto sanang sumama ni mama, but siya ang naging yaya ng anak ko so hindi na lang. Sa totoo lang, I wasn't in my best self during the presentation. Ang isip ko ay na kay Phil. Natatakot ako na baka makita rin niya ang similarities nilang dalawa or worst, baka nakaramdam siya ng tinatawag nilang luksong dugo. During the conference, nag-chat si Elsie sa akin. Sabi niya ay nasa Singapore din daw siya and she's asking if pwede raw ba kaming magkita sandali. Hindi na lang din ako nagtaka kung bakit alam niyang nasa Singapore ako kasi may GC kami. Tapos nag-chat-chat kami doon kasi may gusto silang ipasabay sa akin. So after the conference, nakita kami sa isang cafe na malapit lang din sa university. Nung nakita ko si Elsie ay para siyang wala sa mood. As in wala siyang kangiti-ngiti pero nagbeso-beso pa rin kami. Girl, okay ka lang? Tanong ko. Hindi talaga ako okay, sabi niya. Ano? Bakit? What's the problem? Ang problema ko, ang best friend ko walang tiwala sa akin. Ha? What do you mean? Sa totoo lang ay kinabahan na ako sa part na to na para bang lumalabas na ng paunti-unti ang mga sekretong matagal ko nang itinatago. At least, tinago ko sa kanya. Will you please explain this? Sabi niya at pinakita niya sa akin ang isang picture. Hindi talaga ako nakapagsalita. Ang picture na ito ay sure akong kay Phil galing. Kasi mahirap naman kung galing sa akin, di ba? Hindi naman niya ako tinanong at hindi rin ako nagpasa ng picture sa GC. A photo of Dylan. A photo of Dylan sitting in the cockpit. A photo of Dylan sitting in the cockpit with Phil. Hindi talaga ako nakapagsalita. As in, bigla na lang tumulo ang luha sa mga mata ko dahil nakonsensya ako sa pagtatagong ginawa ko sa best friend ko. Ako kasi ang best friend niya tapos pinagtaguan ko siya ng sekreto. Sino ang ama niya, Yana? I want to hear it from you because this picture says it all. My fingers curled into a fist, my nails digging into my palm. Hindi ko alam kung paano mag-react. I was prepared for so many things but not this. Sinento ni Phil sa akin. Nagtanong siya tungkol kay Dylan. He didn't say much, pero Yans, I could feel it. He knows something is off. He's putting the pieces together. My stomach twisted. Para po akong binugbog nung mga panahon na yun. I gripped the edge of the table, trying to steady myself. Yans, Phil is a good friend of my husband. They used to fly together before he transferred sa ibang airlines. I consider him a really good friend too. And you know what? He deserves to know the truth. His words struck deep. I swallowed hard. I know, Elsie, and I'm sorry I should have told you. But it's not that simple. Yana, you can't hide this forever. The truth has a way of coming out, and today might be that day. And then, as if the universe wanted to mock me, a familiar presence filled the air. A presence I hadn't felt in years. Yet one that was seared into my memory. Phil. I turned slowly. There he was, standing a few feet away. His expression unreadable, but his eyes burning with an intensity that made my breath hitch. So it's true. Anak ko nga si Dylan. I opened my mouth, closed it, my pulse thundered in my ears. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for this. But looking into his eyes, anger, confusion, and something else, I knew I didn't have a choice. I inhaled shakily, my voice barely above a whisper. Yes, Phil. Anak mo si Dylan. The silence that followed was deafening. Elsie broke the silence. Yans, Phil. Babalik pa ako ng Maynila. Mag-usap kayong dalawa. And then, without another word, she left. How long were you planning to keep this from me, Yana? Tanong ni Phil. His voice was calm, but the tension beneath it was unmistakable. May anak tayo and you didn't think I deserved to know? I swallowed the lump in my throat. I expected this moment and rehearsed every possible conversation in my head. But now that it was happening, my mind was blank. It wasn't about deserving. It was about protecting him. About protecting myself. Phil exhaled sharply, shaking his head. So what? You thought I'd be a bad father? That I'd just walk away? My voice cracked and I hated how small I sounded. That day, you left. We left it at that. No expectations, no strings. Sabi ko. His jaw clenched. Sure ka? Because that day I looked for you. I added you sa Facebook and messaged you sa Messenger, but until now, hindi mo pa in-accept yung mga friend requests at message requests ko. What? Wait, how come? What a revelation. Kikiligin sana ako but the tension was just too heavy para sa puso ko. Na mismong puso ko na ang nag-cancel ng kilig na yon. Silence stretched between us, thick and heavy. Ilang taon na siya. His voice was softer but no less intense. His 4. Sagot ko. His lips parted slightly as if the weight of that number had physically struck him. 4 years, Yana. You kept him from me for 4 years? Gusto ko nang maiyak nung mga panahon na yon. I was scared, sabi ko. Scared of what? Sa akin? Of everything. My voice wavered but I forced myself to hold his gaze. Phil, hindi mo naiintindihan. My whole life, I followed the rules. I never made reckless choices, never let myself want something that wasn't planned. Then I met you. And in one night, my whole world changed. Suddenly, I was carrying a life I wasn't ready for. With a man I barely knew and I choked on my words, unable to go on. Phil's expression softened for a second, then hardened again. Dapat sinabi mo sa akin. May karapatan akong malaman ang katotohanan dahil may karapatan akong makilala ang anak ko. I wiped my cheek hastily. Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko nung mga panahon na yun, Phil. Punong-puno ako ng confusions. And ang gusto ko lang mangyari noon ay makasurvive kami. Kami ni baby. He exhaled heavily, running a hand through his hair. I get that, Yana. I do. But I won't just disappear now that I know. I want to meet him. Gusto kong makilala niya ako, not just a pilot, but as his father. My stomach twisted with his words. Phil, napakabata pa niya. Hindi pa niya maiintindihan ng mga sitwasyon. Ang akala niya, ang papa niya, ay ang papa ko. I'll be gone for almost 2 weeks for work. And it's not like andito pa kayo sa Singapore pagbalik ko. That's all the time I have right now. Let me meet him before I leave. Panic bubbled up inside me. Hindi ganun kasimple yun, Phil. It is. I'm his father. His voice was firm. I blinked back tears, heart pounding against my ribs. For 4 years, it had just been me and Dylan, my safe little world. Letting Phil in meant risking everything, my control, and most especially my emotions. But I saw it in Phil's eyes, the quiet plea beneath the anger, the longing beneath the frustration. He wasn't going to walk away this time. And maybe, just maybe, it was time I stopped running. So we decided to go to the hotel. Phil was silent but visibly tense. Hindi katulad nung first meeting namin sa Boracay na punong-puno siya ng misteryo at excitement. This one was different. This one was real. I took a deep breath before stepping out of the car. My heart is hammering against my chest. Nalilito ako kung paano ko i-explain sa pamilya ko ang lahat. Buti na lang kasi yung mama at 3 kong mga kapatid na babae ay umalis, pumuntang IKEA, tapos hindi na sumama ang papa ko at si Dylan dahil pagod na raw ang mga ito. At least papa ko. Hindi man niya masyadong maintindihan agad, pero mapapakiusapan ko naman siya na pwede bang intindihin niya for the time being. Si Phil ay iniwanan ko sa lobby kasi kukunin ko lang si Dylan sa room namin. Pa, may sasabihin ako. Sabi ko nung nakapasok na ako. Ano yon? Bakit parang namumutla ka? Pa, andyan ang papa ni Dylan sa baba. He wanted to meet Dylan. Ha? Pwede bang ipaintindi mo sa akin ang mga nangyayari, Yana? Bakit bigla-bigla na lang sumusulpot yung papa ni Dylan, ha? Pa, I promise you, I will explain everything. Kasi may kasalanan din ako kung bakit ngayon lang sila nagkitang mag-ama. So please, intindihin mo muna ako. Samahan mo muna kami dun sa baba. Papa looked at me for a long time na para bang nag-antay na dadagdagan ko pa ang mga sinabi ko. Para bang inaantay niya sasabihin kong, it's a prank, it's a joke. Pero nung na-realize niyang I was not joking, he resigned with a heavy sigh. I'm just grateful that the whole time, hindi na nangulit pa ang papa ko. Anak, let's go down. I want you to meet someone. I saw Phil at the lobby. Para bang gusto kong lumapit na hindi. Pa, si Phil, Dylan's father. My father's gaze flickered to Phil, who stepped forward and with a steady resolve offered his hand. Sir, I'm Phil. Thank you for letting me meet my son. A long pause stretched between them before my father shook his hand. My father never said a single word, maintaining his poker face. I released a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Dylan's eyes widened with curiosity as he noticed Phil standing beside me. Captain? Phil let out a breathless chuckle, nodding. Yes, buddy, that was me. You fly airplanes, that's so cool. Phil crouched down to his level. I do. And you know what's even cooler? He hesitated, glancing at me before turning back to Dylan. I'm your daddy. Silence hung in the air, heavy and delicate. My heart stopped as I watched Dylan's reaction. His tiny brows furrowed as if processing something too big for his 4-year-old mind. Then his eyes round with wonder. You mean like my real daddy? His voice was small, tentative. Phil's throat bobbed as he nodded. Yes, buddy. I didn't know about you before, but I do now. And I want to be here for you, if that's okay. Dylan tilted his head, then slowly smiled. So, does that mean you can teach me how to fly planes? A choked laugh escaped me. Phil grinned, his eyes shimmering. Of course, I'll teach you everything. Without hesitation, Dylan lunged forward and wrapped his tiny arms around Phil's neck. Okay, Daddy. Phil froze for a second before he embraced Dylan tightly, pressing his face into our son's small shoulder. I saw his chest rise and fall in shaky breaths. He was crying. And for the first time in years, I saw a man truly vulnerable. I wiped my own tears as I watched them. My father standing beside me. Buti na lang at dumating siya. Dylan deserves this. Parang may something surreal sa pagtingin ni Dylan kay Phil. Habang nag-uusap silang dalawa, as if matagal na silang magkakilala. Si Dylan na takot sa ibang mga bagong tao, walang pag-aalinlangan na nakikipag-usap siya kay Phil. And si Phil, this man was patient, attentive, and genuinely fascinated by our son. Anong favorite mong airplane? Tanong ni Dylan kay Phil. Tanong ni Phil kay Dylan. Dylan's eyes lit up. The Concorde. Pero hindi na siya nagpa-fly. Super fast kaya yun, like supersonic speed. Phil grinned. Wala na, pero maybe in the future, baka may dumating na bagong supersonic planes. Gusto mo rin ba ang mga fighter jets? How about you, Dad? What's your favorite plane? I like flying the B777. You can never go wrong with a Boeing. So cool! But you know, I like dinosaurs too. What's your favorite dino? Of course, the Velociraptor. They're the fastest dinosaurs. Smart kid. And just like that, my heart melted. That night, before Phil had to leave for work, he took us to the night safari. Dylan was thrilled at si Phil halatang-halatang gustong-gusto niyang nakukuha niyang affection mula sa kanyang anak. Naglalakad kami sa dimly lit paths, listening to the sounds of nocturnal animals, while Phil carried Dylan on his shoulders. Mommy, so nice here. While Dylan marveled at the animals, Phil fell into step beside me. Yana, I want to be in his life. I exhaled slowly. I know. Sabi ko. He stopped walking, turning to face me. Hindi lang sa ganitong paraan. I want to support him in everything. Gusto kong magpakaama sa kanya. I swallowed. Of course he did. I expected nothing less, but it still sent a wave of panic through me. Phil, this is just complicated. His jaw tightened. I know. We stood there, the weight of the situation pressing down on us. Dylan was the easy part. He adored Phil already. The hard part was us. Kailangan natin tong pag-usapan. You're based here in Singapore, Phil. Dylan and I are in the Philippines. This isn't going to be simple. Phil's gaze didn't waver. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, Yana. I hesitated, my mind racing with what-ifs. Co-parenting. We can make a plan, set schedules, and figure out how we can work this out without making it confusing for Dylan. Sabi ko. There was a flicker of something in his eyes, disappointment or something else. But he nodded. Okay, if yun ang gusto mo, sagot niya. It was what I wanted, right? To keep things clear? To draw a boundary before we stumbled into dangerous territory? Hinatid niya kami sa hotel after. Dylan was already fast asleep, pero ginising ko siya dahil hindi pwedeng ihatid pa kami ni Phil sa room namin. Kasi sigurado akong nandun na ang mama ko at ang mga kapatid ko. Baby, daddy needs to work. I will be away for 2 weeks. By the time I come back here sa Singapore, umuwi na kayo ng Pinas. But daddy will visit you at home, okay? Don't give mommy a headache. Tumango-tango lang ang anak kong antok na antok pa. Kinarga ko na lang si Dylan at humalik pa si Phil sa kanyang noo. Mama Mia, hindi ko rin talaga napaghandaan ang paghalik din ni Phil sa noo ko. Akala ko baby lang ang hahalikan niya, pati pala si mommy. Nagulat ako, para akong natulala nung mga panahon na yon. Thank you, Yana. Enjoy USS tomorrow and mag-ingat kayo lagi. Parang nawalan ako ng lakas na maglakad noon. Nawalan ako ng lakas sa mga nangyari sa buong araw. I couldn't believe how fast everything unfolded. It felt like just yesterday. I was living my quiet, predictable life. My biggest dilemma being whether or not to let Dylan have ice cream before dinner. And then Phil happened. The moment they met, a strong bond formed between them. I watched as Dylan clung to Phil like he had known him forever. It was like something clicked between them, as if Dylan had always been waiting for him. Now I was overthinking everything. How were we supposed to make this co-parenting setup work when Phil's job was abroad? Would Dylan be okay having a father figure who wasn't always physically present? More importantly, how the hell were Phil and I supposed to resist whatever this was between us? I can feel the attraction was still there. I hated to admit it, but the moment I saw Phil holding Dylan, my heart skipped a bit. He looked at our son with so much tenderness that it made my chest ache. And then there was that moment when he caught my gaze over Dylan's head. It was brief, but it said everything. This wasn't just about Dylan. This was some unfinished business. I shook my head, trying to clear my thoughts. I needed to focus. We had to establish boundaries, keep things simple for Dylan's sake. By the time I arrived back at our hotel room, I already knew my family would be waiting for me. And true enough, pagdating ko sa room, ang mama ko, ang papa ko, ang ate ko ay nandun lahat. Seated like a panel of judges sa isang reality show. I know na na-briefing na silang lahat ni Papa tungkol sa nangyari. Pero kailangan ko ring mag-explain once and for all sa kanilang lahat. I looked at Mama. She had her arms crossed, her gaze sharp. I took a deep breath. We met Phil, Dylan's father. Sabi ko, pero tahimik pa rin ang lahat. Ilang saglit pa ay nagsalita ang papa ko. Anong nangyari, anak? Bakit ngayon pa niya nalaman na may anak pala kayong dalawa? I was scared, pa. I didn't know him well. I didn't even know if he'd want a child. And I wasn't ready to deal with another person's expectations when I was still figuring things out for myself. Akala ko kaya kong pagtaguan ng lahat. But yung flight natin papunta dito sa Singapore, isa pala siya sa mga pilot doon. So nung pumasok kami ni Dylan sa cockpit, doon niya kami nakita and he figured out everything. Nakita kami today through the help of Elsie. Syempre, Mama Mia, I never told them about the one night stand part. Kasi kung hindi man ako nasampal ng mga magulang ko nung sinabi ko sa kanilang buntis ako, baka kapag nalaman nilang nakipag one night stand ako, ay hindi lang basta-basta sampal ang matanggap ko mula sa mga magulang ko. Mama's sharp inhale cut through the room. So, anong mangyayari nito? Tanong ni Papa. He wants to be a part of Dylan's life now. I want Dylan to have his father. We decided to co-parent Dylan. At bakit co-parent pa? Bakit hindi nyo nalang totohanin ang lahat sa inyo? I'm sure there's still an attraction. Kasi, 'di ba? Tignan niyo yung pamangkin ko, ang gwapo-gwapo. Ang galing ng pagkakagawa ninyo, sabi ni ate. Kaming tatlo ni na papa at mama ay sabay-sabay na nakatingin kay ate in disbelief. Sure ba talaga akong hindi nasaniban ng masamang espiritu tong ate ko? Why? Grabe naman yung reaction nyo sa statement ko. Yans, matanda ka na. Pwede ka nang mag-asawa. Give the child a complete and happy family. Yung ate ko ay matalino kasi nga lawyer ito eh. Pero halatang-halatang walang masyadong experience pagdating sa relasyon. Akala niya siguro ganun lang kadali ang lahat. Nagtataka pa rin kaming tatlo na nakatingin kay ate at sinabi niya good night na raw. Umalis na siya at lumipat sa kanilang kwarto. Ako naman ay naiwan kasama ang mama at papa ko. I hope you know what you're getting yourself into, sabi ni mama. Hindi siya galit. She wasn't judging me. She was just worried. Anak, whatever happens, andito lang kami ha, sabi ni papa. I closed my eyes, breathing in the comfort of my father's embrace. Maybe, just maybe, everything will be okay. Hindi talaga ako nakatulog kaagad at chinek ko yung sinasabi ni Phil kanina na in-add friend na pala niya ako sa Facebook at nag-message request na rin siya sa akin sa Messenger. And in my defense, itong Facebook, kung hindi lang dahil sa mga pamilya at kaibigan ko, hindi talaga ako gagamit nito. Mas gusto ko talaga ang Instagram sa totoo lang. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit o kung paano gumagalaw ang Facebook. Ang totoo niyan, hindi pa nga umaabot sa 200 ang friends ko dito. Lalo pa nitong Messenger. Wala akong kaalam-alam na meron palang mga paganyan na message request. But it was there. His message on Messenger is a very simple, "Hi, Yana." Dated the next day after the wedding. Tapos, yung kanyang display picture sa kanyang Facebook account ay sunrise. Tapos yung pangalan niya doon ay hindi naman Phil. So, talagang hindi ko malalaman na siya yun, 'di ba? Kaya hindi ko ma-accept. But that night, tinanggap ko ang lahat. We also exchanged numbers and we both decided na sa WhatsApp kami mag-uusap. The next day, we explored USS. Dylan was practically vibrating with excitement the entire trip. Wow, Mama! Look, oh! That's a real raptor! We really made the most out of this trip. Singapore was a very beautiful country. Clean, so many parks, and fast internet plus the food is amazing. Throughout the trip, Phil never stopped checking in on us. How are you? How's Dylan? How's USS? Ako, sumasagot lang din sa mga tanong niya. Nag-a-update din siya kung nasaan na siya, na nakaland na sila safely, na papunta na siya sa hotel, na nakarating na siya sa hotel, na matutulog na siya. Eto talaga ang gusto ko sa kanya. Dahil hindi ka mag-aalala kung buhay pa ba siya or what, kasi kusa siyang nag-a-update. Somewhere in between, my mind wandered. It went back to Phil. I knew I shouldn't overthink it. Maybe he was just being nice. Maybe he just felt responsible. After all, he didn't know about Dylan until recently. Maybe this was his way of making up for lost time. But part of me wondered, did he care about me too? This trip was supposed to be a getaway, a chance to make memories with Dylan, and yes, we did. But it was also unearthed things I had buried. I was happy, yes, but I was also scared. Scared of what it meant to have Phil in our lives. Scared of what it meant if I let myself feel something. Because if I did, what if I got hurt? What if Dylan got hurt? We're finally home and I tucked him into bed that night, pressing a kiss to his forehead. He sighed in his sleeps, his tiny fingers curling around mine. And as I lay beside him, staring at the ceiling, I felt the weight of everything settle in my chest. Phil. The last time I saw him, he was the epitome of tall, dark, and handsome. Pero ngayon, still as handsome as ever pero medyo iba na. A little more mature. May something sa mukha niya na parang nag-age ng konti but not in a bad way ha. More like life happened to him. And I wondered, ano rin kaya ang version ng buhay niya since Boracay? Paano kaya siya bilang isang ama? I knew how he was a man, smooth, charming, and impossibly easy to like, which was exactly why I let my guard down that night. But as a father, I had no idea. Would he be the type to make airplane noises while feeding a kid? Would he hum a lullaby while rocking a child to sleep? Or was he the kind to keep his distance, dropping by once in a while like a polite stranger with occasional gifts? And most importantly, how would we interact now knowing something happened between us? Would it be awkward? Would he ever had questions that I don't know how to answer? Would I find myself falling into old patterns, charmed by that deep, steady voice, those eyes that always seemed like they saw right through me? I don't know. All I knew was, whatever happened next, there was no turning back this time. Phil is 8 years older than me, and if you're wondering, yes, I feel that age gap every time he opens his smart mouth. Hindi naman sa sinasabi kong nabobore ako ha, pero may mga panahon talaga na nako-conscious ako sa pagiging immature ko compared to him. Kasi si Phil, he's the type of guy na halatang-halatang marami ng pinagdaanang life experiences. And when he talks, you listen. Not because he demands it, but because there's something about him that makes you want to. Napakatalino niya. Not in an intimidating way, but in a way na nakakapagpawaw sa'yo. Like, talaga? Talaga bang may ganun? Or, bakit hindi ko man lang yun naisip? And then, there's the way he looks. Tall, dark, and handsome. But not in a flashy, overly styled way ha. Phil isn't the type to follow trends or flex branded stuff. Pero there's something about the way he carries himself. Confident but not arrogant. Polished but never trying too hard. And let's not even start on how he always smells good. Yun bang klase ng amoy na hindi lang pang one time good time pero yung may aftershock? Like, alam niyo na kung anong ibig kong sabihin kung medyo mahilig kayo sa pabango. Phil used to fly for our flag carrier. But he left. Hindi dahil sa hindi niya gusto ang trabaho niya. He loved flying. Pero corporate politics, yan ang ayaw niya. So when the opportunity came to transfer, he took it. Phil is also very systematic. Everything he does, may proseso talaga. Even the way he packs for a flight, parang may checklist sa aviation safety. Another thing, parehas po kaming taga Mindanao. Hindi ko lang sasabihin ang specific cities kasi alam kong marami pong mga detective dyan na nakikinig. But 2 hours lang ang difference namin sa lugar ng isa't isa. It's funny kasi dati I used to think na napakalayo na ng travel na yon. Pero ngayon, parang baliwala na lang. Phil is trying to be a good father to Dylan. Trying to be present despite the distance and his unpredictable schedule. Trying to make things work between us in ways that neither of us expected. Hindi ko masasabing easy kasi hindi talaga. May mga moments na naguguluhan kami kung saang lugar ba talaga ang buhay namin sa isa't isa. But what I can say is Phil is not the type to run away from responsibilities. And when he promises something, he always follows through. Siya, Yan si Phil. Kahit pa sa lahat ng complications, I can't deny that he is someone worth knowing and maybe even loving. I never imagined I would co-parent with someone I barely knew. Pero sa totoo lang, Phil has been making it work. Hindi po madali ang setup namin. Ang setup niya being miles away and me raising Dylan mostly on my own. But he has been present in the ways that matter. Regular kaming nag-video call lalo na silang dalawa ni Dylan. He would show our son his view from wherever he was. Sometimes a city skyline, sometimes a snowy mountain, sometimes just a quiet room with a cup of coffee. Dylan asked a million questions and Phil would patiently answer each one of them. Hindi mo masasabing absent father siya kasi lagi po siyang nandyan. Hindi lang sa mga panahon na convenient para sa kanya. He made sure he was present physically, emotionally, and financially. Even with the distance, he made it work. He always made it work. Every day, meron talaga siyang update. A photo of his morning coffee, the sunrise from his window, a random dog he met on his jog. Pero minsan, bigla-bigla na lang siyang nag-chat ng, "How are you? How's your day? I hope you'll have a great day." Unnecessary really, but did my heart skip a beat? Of course not. Duh. Almost every night, meron talaga siyang video call with Dylan. Phil made sure to explain to our son why he couldn't always be around. Part ito sa trabaho ko, buddy ah. Sometimes I have to be far away. But it doesn't mean I love you any less. I'm doing this for you. And Dylan, smart as he was, he understood. He nod and say, "It's okay, Daddy. See you soon." Every time he was here, he spent as much time with Dylan as possible. He played with him and taught him things. He was so hands-on. And while I tried my best not to think too much of it, I noticed the way he noticed me. There was a time, nagpaputol po ako ng buhok. Hindi naman sobrang ikli, mga shoulder length lang kasi parang nagsasawa na rin ako sa mahaba kong buhok. "Nagpakat ka ng hair?" Tanong niya. "Yes. You look good but you're more beautiful in your long hair." I didn't know what to do with that information. Basta nung mga oras na yon, I wish na hindi na lang sana ako nagpaputol ng buhok. I wish na sana singhaba ng buhok ni Rapunzel ang buhok ko. Talagang naguguluhan ako kung kinukuha lang ba niya ang kiliti ng pamilya ko o generous lang talaga siya. Kasi kapag dumarating siya sa amin, lagi talaga siyang may dala para sa buong pamilya. Wine, whiskey para sa papa ko, chocolates para sa mga kapatid ko, and ref magnets para sa mama ko. Bigla pong tumataas ang kilay niya every time Phil is here, but she respected him because nakikita niya kung paano maging masaya si Dylan kapag nandyan ang daddy niya. Parang unti-unti ay nasasanay na rin ang pamilya ko sa presence ni Phil sa bahay namin. Even my ate, who was indifferent to Phil at best, sabi niya, "At least alam natin kung saan nagmana si Dylan ng looks niya, di ba?" Hindi talaga masyadong namamansin ng ate ko sa totoo lang, pero nakita ko namang nire-respeto pa rin niya si Phil. There were moments, stolen glances, fleeting touches. The way our hands brushed when we both reached for Dylan, the way he looked at me when he thought I wasn't looking, mixed signals, all of it, and I refused to assume. I refused to believe na meron siyang deeper meaning sa lahat ng yon. Because assuming meant hoping, and hoping is dangerous. There was one time na hindi ko talaga makalimutan even up until now. Napapangiti pa rin ako kapag naaalala ko to. Phil was out our house visiting Dylan. We were in the living room, ako, siya at si Dylan. They were playing with Legos on the floor. It was one of those days na wala namang special occasion, walang big event. The TV was on, playing some random movie. Hindi ko pinapansin at first, but when I glanced at the screen, Notting Hill pala ang pinapanood namin. I've seen it before, but that day I got so engrossed, like I was watching it with my new eyes. Maybe it was because of the way the soft glow of the TV reflected on Phil's face while he laughed at something Dylan did. Or maybe it was because of that one iconic scene. Yun bang si Julia Roberts standing in front of Hugh Grant saying, "I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love her." Tapos, yun bang obvious na kinilig talaga ako doon. Tapos si Phil, noticing how absorbed I was, chuckled and said to Dylan, "Kinikilig yung mommy mo." I smiled at them but I didn't say anything else. He didn't ask either. A few weeks later, Phil had a flight to London. Then he sent me a picture of the travel bookshop. This is his message talaga that I copied back. "Hi, I remembered you watching Notting Hill, so I thought you'd like to see this." The Notting Hill bookshop scene in the movie was filmed at the travel bookshop at 142 Portobello Road. But the store that inspired it was the Notting Hill bookshop on 13 Blenheim Crescent. I passed by both. Wala lang. Baka gusto mo lang malaman. And then he sent me another picture. The first edition of Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. My heart stopped. Ewan ko, pero parang mas kinikilig talaga ako kapag binibigyan ako ng libro kaysa sa flowers. Figured you've loved this. You talk about books like they're people. He noticed the little things. I sat there, phone in my hands, smiling like an idiot. My heart was doing this stupid happy dance inside my chest. Wala akong masabi at wala akong magawa. Except to whisper to myself, "Shoot! Shoot!" Fast forward, para pa ring bagong karga ko pa lang si Dylan at kinakarga ko pa rin siya for the first time. That tiny fragile baby na iniyakan ko sa sobrang lungkot at takot. Pero mas marami yung iyak ng saya. Ngayon, my baby is going to school. Preschool pa lang, pero yung puso ko ay parang punong-puno na ng iba't ibang uri ng emosyon. Dylan was buzzing with excitement as he sat between me and Phil sa likod ng sasakyan. We woke up extra early kasi Phil flew in from Singapore via Cebu just to be here. Wala pa siyang tulog, straight from the airport pa siya. Kaya ayon, nagpa-drive na lang siya dahil alam kong pagod na pagod siya. Yet he was still here, present, making sure he wouldn't miss this milestone. "Excited ka na, anak?" tanong niya. "Yes, Daddy, I'm a big boy na." His confidence made me both proud and teary-eyed. Pagdating namin sa school, I took a deep breath. The place was swarming with parents and kids, some crying, some clinging to their moms, others excitedly running to their classrooms. Dylan? He was the latter. Hindi talaga siya nagpa-baby. He let go of my hand too quickly. Niyakap lang niya kami ni Phil for a second before he ran towards his teacher. Gulat na gulat talaga ako at sinigaw ko pa ang pangalan niya, hoping he'd run back. Pero wala. He turned, smiled at us, and waved. "Bye, Mommy. Bye, Daddy. Love you." Then he was gone. Walang iyak-iyak. Walang drama-drama. Hindi ako handa na ganun katapang ang anak ko. I bit my lip trying to keep the tears from falling. Pero hindi ko napigilan. Phil sighed beside me. Then without a word, he placed his arm around my shoulders. That simple gesture almost undid me. "Okay ka lang?" Nag-expect ako ng konting drama eh. Yun bang may "Pamami, wag mo akong iwan" moment? Phil chuckled, squeezing my shoulder. "Malaki na ang anak natin, Mommy." Mommy? Pero hindi ko na lang pinansin yon. That did it. Talagang nahulog na ang luha sa mga mata ko. Because God knows how hard it was raising him alone. But now, looking at him happy, excited, secure, I knew I did something right. As we stood there watching Dylan through the glass window, we must have looked like a real family, like any other mom and dad sending their child off to a school for the first time. The thought warmed me and scared me a little bit. Hindi ko na siya masusundo mamaya, ha? I have to fly back to Cebu then straight to Singapore. I nodded. Alam ko, but I also knew he would have stayed if he could. Okay lang, at least andito ka ngayon. He turned to me, his gaze lingering. Always, Yana. Hindi ko maintindihan ang nararamdaman ko. There was an ache there, a bittersweet mix of gratitude and something I didn't want to name just yet. And then fast forward to my birthday. I never made a big deal out of my birthday. Ever since I was a child, it had always been just another day, except for the breakfast tradition. Every year, our nainay, who had been with our family for 2 decades, would woke up early to cook pancit for me at ang mga kapatid ko kapag birthday nila. That was it. Sometimes we'd eat out for dinner pero hindi talaga something grand. No big parties, no surprises, no unnecessary fuzz. That's why when I woke up that morning, I expected nothing more than the usual. I went downstairs and true enough, Nainay was already setting the table. The familiar smell of her pancit filled the air. Happy birthday, ate! I smiled, my heart warming. Salamat, Nay. As usual, ikaw lang talaga ang consistent. Ikaw ba, hindi ko pa nga na-wrap yung regalo ko para sa'yo. Pero alam mo na yon, ang puso ko ay hindi na talaga nira-wrap pa. Walang problema, Nay. Yung gift mo lang sa akin na hindi mo makalimutan na inumin ang Lipitor at Metformin mo, ayos na yon, okay? Mahal na mahal ko si Nainay. Pero minsan ay matigas talaga ang ulo nito. Lumalabas talaga siya ng bahay para pasikretong bibili ng soft drinks tapos tinatago niya sa kwarto niya. Everyone in the house greeted me. Etong papa ko, always talaga siyang may pa-envelope na inaabot sa aming magkakapatid kapag birthday namin. And that day was no exception. Happy birthday, ate. Enjoy. Sabay tunol sa akin ang envelope. Thank you, Pops. That day went as usual. I went to work, taught my classes, answered emails. But then, just as I was about to leave for lunch, I received a text from my mama. Come to my office now. Her tone was cryptic pero wala na akong choice. When my mother summoned, you obey. I hurried to her office, half expecting a serious talk or some family-related news. What I didn't expect was to open the door and see Dylan standing there, holding a small bouquet of pink roses. Behind him was Phil holding a cake. Happy birthday, Mommy! Dylan beamed, his eyes twinkling with excitement. I froze. What? Phil grinned. Surprise! Sabi ni Phil. I stared at him, still processing the moment. Akala ko ba nasa Sydney ka? He smirked, stepping closer. I had other plans. I was overwhelmed. I wasn't used to being on the receiving end of surprises like this, much less from Phil. Mommy, blow your cake and make a wish. Si Lord lang ang nakakaalam kung anong hiniling ko at siya na rin ang bahala kung tutuparin man niya yon o hindi. That night, I found myself at my favorite restaurant surrounded by my family and closest friends. The laughter, the clinking of glasses, the warm greetings, it all felt so surreal. Sure talaga kayong co-parenting lang yan ha? Baka iba na yan, sabi ni Che. Nako, alam niyo ba? Ngayon pa talaga ako nakarinig na co-parenting tapos both are single and available. What if totohanin niyo na lang yan? Sabi naman ni Cha. Nako, baka may isang hindi available. Sabi naman ni Jay. Yan ang malungkot. Please, quiet na kayo. Andyan lang sa harapan natin si Pilo. I don't know if narinig ba ni Phil yung mga pinagsasasabi ng mga mapanukso kong kaibigan kasi busy po sila na nag-uusap ng papa ko. Pero nahihiya pa rin ako. Baka akalain niyang may iba akong ine-expect sa kanya. This birthday felt different, special, like for the first time in a long time, I was truly celebrated. As we wrapped up the dinner, Phil leaned toward me, his voice low. Happy? I turned to him, my chest tightening with emotions I didn't know how to express. Thank you, sagot ko na lang. When we got home, Dylan was bouncing with energy. Mommy, Daddy, can we sleep together tonight, please? Daddy needs to go home, sabi ko. Biglang nagsalita ang papa ko. Huwag mo na siyang payagang mag-drive, gabi na. Nanlaki ang mga mata ng mama ko pero wala siyang nagawa. I looked at Phil, expecting him to make an excuse, pero he simply smiled. Talagang may ganun siya ha? Yun pala, Mama Mia, may mga damit at gamit na rin pala siyang dala na nasa loob lang ng sasakyan niya. So he went to get it and pagbalik niya ay may dala-dala na siyang duffel bag. Dylan cheered and immediately ran to our bedroom. I shook my head. Phil shrugged. Pagpasok namin sa kwarto, he caught my wrist. Wait. I look at him questioningly as he's getting something from the bag. Here's my gift. Pagtingin ko sa paper bag, it was a Cartier. And hindi talaga ako mahilig ng mga luxury items but I know it's not cheap. I opened it and it took me some time kasi naka-wax seal pa ang box mismo and my breath hitched. A Cartier love bracelet. Simple, elegant, timeless. Phil, sobra to. Hindi, sakto lang yan, sabi niya. He took my hand, fastening it around my wrist. I want you to have something that reminds you you're loved every day. I swallowed past the lump in my throat. Thank you for everything. Phil smiled, then in a rare moment of softness, pulled me into his arms. I felt the steady rise and fall of his chest, the warmth of his embrace, the quiet reassurance that maybe, just maybe, I wasn't alone in this as I thought. And for the first time in years, on my birthday, I allowed myself to believe it. Ever since that night on my birthday, after Phil clasped the delicate love bracelet around my wrist and pulled me into his arms, things between us shifted. Hindi kami nag-usap ng diretsyo tungkol sa relasyon naming dalawa. But there was an unspoken understanding, a silent acknowledgement that something had changed. At first, our calls were mostly for Dylan. Every night, like clockwork, Phil would video call, his deep voice filling the small space of my room. Hey buddy, what did you do today? Dylan with his boundless energy would excitedly tell his daddy about his day, his dinosaurs, his new toys, his favorite cartoon episodes. Pero over time, the calls changed. Phil didn't just talk to Dylan. He talked to me too. How's your day, mommy? His tone always warm, always sincere. And I found myself answering. Not just the surface level. It was fine, but the real answer. Nakakapagod, Phil. My student drained the life out of me today. Half of my class failed the exam. Nagtataka ako kung ako bang may kasalanan o sila. Ikaw, how's your day? At first, his answers were simple. Long flights, tiring, but worth it. But then, like me, he started sharing more. And one night, I learned something new about Phil. He opened up about his work and I saw a different kind of passion when he talks about flying. You ever wondered how we get from startup to landing? Tanong niya. Honestly, no. Kapag sumasakay ako ng eroplano, uupo lang ako tapos magdadasal na sana wag mag-crash. Sabi ko sabay tawa. Phil chuckled, shaking his head. You and everyone else. Then he started explaining, and for the first time, I saw his world through his eyes. He told me about the pre-flight checks, how every switch and system had to be verified before they even started the engines. Dapat mag-coordinate talaga ang lahat. The captain, the first officer work together. But it's not just us. Air traffic control guides us. Ground crew ensures the plane is safe. Engineers check every details. We don't just push a button and take off. I listened intently as he described and the precision required during takeoff, how they reach the point of no return once they reach a decision speed. Nakakatakot ano? What if something happened? Tanong ko. It can be. That's why we train for every possible scenario. Engine failure, bird strikes, hydraulic issues, you name it, we practice it. Then he told me about cruising altitude, how they constantly communicated with air traffic controllers, adjusting for weather, turbulence, and other aircraft. It's a balancing act. Pilots get all the glory, but honestly, air traffic controllers and ground crews deserves as much credit. Every life on board depends on a network of people making the right calls. Hindi ko talaga naisip na ganun pala ka-grueling ang trabaho nila just so we could arrive safe sa ating pupuntahan. I never thought about it that way, and yet you don't get enough credit for what you do, sabi ko. It's part of the job. If we do everything right, no one notices. If something goes wrong, everyone does, sagot niya. For some reason, that stuck with me. How many times had I taken a safe flight for granted? How many people worked behind the scenes to ensure that when I landed, I did so safely? He's also chika na itong mga delayed flights dito sa atin, I won't name the airline na lang pero alam nyo na yan kung ano yon. Hindi daw talaga dapat lagi nating biniblame dun sa airlines. Kasi according to Phil, hindi lang airline ang problema, ang system mismo natin sa NAIA. That's why he hates flying to Manila. Mas preferred niya sa Cebu kasi mas professional daw ang mga air and ground controllers dyan. That night, we talked until almost 3 a.m. The conversation drifted from flights to life, to regrets, to childhood dreams. Phil told me about the first time he ever saw a plane up close. How at 6 years old, he told his dad he was going to fly one someday. I told him about the time I solved my first algebra problem and realized numbers made more sense than people ever did. I don't know how it happened, but talking to him became part of my routine, a necessity. Phil and I always updated each other, where we were, what we were doing, who we were with. It was as if we had become intertwined in each other's daily lives. Except there's one thing we hadn't updated: our relationship status. I wasn't his girlfriend. He wasn't my boyfriend. We hadn't defined what this was. And yet, as I looked at my phone screen, at Phil's face, his sleepy eyes, his soft smile, I couldn't help but wonder. If this isn't love, then what is this? Fast forward when Phil asked me first if he could bring Dylan to meet his parents. Ang una kong reaksyon talaga ay hesitation. Not because I didn't trust him with our son. Phil had proven time and time again that he was serious about being a father to Dylan, but because the idea of meeting his parents felt too personal, too intimate. Ako? Sasama? Hindi ako bagay doon. I could already imagine the assumption, the unspoken questions if I went with them. If I met Phil's parents, what would that mean? Would it blur the lines even more between co-parenting and something else? Would they see me as a woman in Phil's life or just the mother of their grandson? So that weekend, for the first time ever, Dylan went somewhere overnight without me. Of course, I was anxious. Of course, I overthought everything. What if Dylan got shy? What if he didn't feel comfortable? What if he missed home? But when Phil sent pictures of Dylan sitting on his lolo's lap, giggling while kumakain ng lansones, All my worries melted away. Pagbalik nila, Dylan ran to me excitedly jumping up and down. Mommy, Mommy, I met Lolo and Lola. Lola made pancakes and Lolo said I can ride a horse next time. His eyes sparkled as he recounted every little thing. The big house with the wide garden, the swing sa labas, the mango trees, and the many animals he got to see. Mommy, they have a farm. Daddy said we can go there. Can we, Mommy, please? Si Phil ay busy sa lahat ng mga bitbit niya. Napakaraming gulay at prutas. Meron pang mais. Masayang-masaya si Nainay at Mama sa mga pasalubong na yon. Mama smiled softer than usual as she looked at Dylan who was still chattering about his trip. Alam mo, masayang-masaya ang mama at papa ko dyan sa batang yan. Ayaw na nga nilang pauwiin sabi ni Phil. I exhaled softly, feeling something shift inside me. I had spent years thinking I needed to be the only solid foundation in Dylan's life, that I had to be enough. But seeing him this happy, knowing that he had more people loving him, made me realize, hindi ko kailangang gawing mag-isa ang lahat ng ito. Alam mo, meron tayong free time sa susunod, gumala tayo sa farm, sabi ni Phil. I hesitated but before I could even think of an excuse, Dylan beamed up at me. Mommy, please. Daddy said I can see real cows and chickens. I smiled at my son, brushing his soft curls away from his forehead. How could I say no to that face? Okay, sagot ko. Phil's gaze met mine, and for a brief moment, there was something unspoken between us. Gratitude, hope, maybe something better. And then came Dylan's birthday. Phil wanted to have a big party, but I insisted for a small and intimate birthday with family and friends. Phil had taken a leave sa trabaho niya, not just for Dylan's birthday, but because he had to take care of something important, sabi niya, that I didn't pry on. Wala akong karapatan. We were just co-parenting, not a couple. Phil stepped out of his car but he wasn't alone. May kasama siya, a teenage girl. She was tall, slim, and pretty. Mga 13 or 14 siguro. Her wavy brown hair cascaded down her back and she had Phil's eyes. The same piercing gaze. She was smiling. Happy birthday, Dylan. I want you to meet someone. This is Ate Maddie, your sister. Sabi ni Phil. Ate? Like a real sister? Tanong naman ng anak ko. Yes, bud. Phil was watching me carefully, as if trying to gauge my reaction. But I refused to meet his eyes. I had to get inside before my emotions showed. And you must be Tita Yana? Nice to finally meet you. Sabi ni Maddie. Tita. Phil exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair as if trying to figure out how to handle this. Time stopped. The words echoed in my mind like an explosion. I wasn't prepared for this. I stared at her, at Phil, then back at her. My mind tried to process the information, but my heart, my stupid, traitorous heart, was already in free fall. Dylan's sister. Phil's daughter. Of course he had a daughter. Why wouldn't he? He was in his early 40s, for God's sake. It made perfect sense. And yet, I never saw it coming. Or was I just denying that idea? Kaya it never crossed my mind because it did many times. But always ignored. My hands felt cold, but I forced a smile. Today wasn't about me. It was about my son. Hi, Maddie. My voice perfectly steady despite the storm brewing inside me. Welcome. Come in. Maddie smiled and respectfully took my hand, pressing it to her forehead. Nagmano siya sa akin. I felt lightheaded. Yana, tawag ni Phil. My voice barely above a whisper. I met his gaze briefly before looking away, blinking rapidly. Not now, Phil. As we walked into the house, my mom and ate saw us from the dining area. Their smiles faltered for a split second before they recovered and greeted Maddie warmly. I knew them too well. They were as shocked as I was, but like me, they played along. Maddie was very polite. She greeted everyone at nagmano siya sa lahat. Maddie, you're so pretty. How old are you? Tanong ng mama ko. 13 years old po. My mama, ever the composed matriarch of our family, nodded approvingly. Then Maddie turned to Dylan. I bought you something. I heard you love airplanes. Dylan gasps in excitement, eagerly tearing the wrapper. Wow, a Boeing 747. Ate Maddie, thank you. You're welcome, little bro. Little bro. I nearly lost my grip on the tray of glasses I was holding. Questions in my head started to pour in. If he has a daughter, where is the mother? Did he ever plan on telling me? Why now? Why today? I looked at Phil, our eyes met. His expression was unreadable. But I saw something there. Uncertainty? Apology? I didn't know, and I didn't want to know. I turned away before I did something irrational, like demand answers on my son's birthday. Because at the end of the day, wala akong karapatang magalit. We were not together. We were co-parents. That was all. I inhaled deeply, feeling the weight of the moment settle heavily on my shoulders. There was so much I needed to process, so much I wanted to say, but today was Dylan's day, and no matter how shaken I felt, I wouldn't let anything ruin it for him. Even my heart was already breaking. Nako naman! Mapapaaray na ko naman tayo nito. May asawa na kaya itong si Phil? Bakit may anak na siya? Nako naman. Abangan nyo bukas. I think ang pagtatapos na. Bukas ba? Yes, bukas. I think ang pagtatapos na ng kwentong ito ni Yana. Nako, abang-abang ha. Anyways, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpunta at pagbisita dito sa channel natin. Please do not hesitate to like and share this video. Mag-subscribe na rin kayo kung hindi pa po kayo subscriber nitong channel natin. Mag-click na rin kayo ng notification bell para lagi po kayong naa-update sa tuwing may bago tayong upload. At huwag kakalimutan ng kung may sarili kayong kwento, huwag nyo namang itago dyan. Huwag nyong solohin, diba? Paki-share kung gusto nyo lang naman. Email po kayo mamamiacdo0317@gmail.com. Maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagtitiwala at pagmamahal. Ako pong muli si Mama Mia. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Paalam!